High Maintenance I first heard of a few years ago. I like to go to Reddit, their video section, a lot just to see what popular videos. And this one, sometimes there's Rogan videos show up in there, like the little edits with music and speeches and shit. And this was one, and it was a new or a web series, probably like 2012, maybe around there when I saw it. Just had a few, like 4 episodes, really short episodes, like 5-minute episodes. And it's about a guy who's a weed delivery guy in New York.
Yeah.
And it's kind of more about the stories of the people that he delivers the weed to than about him. You don't really know anything about him other than you get his like his mood, like his aura, but you don't really know anything. I don't even think we know his name at this point. But it's all about the characters around him. And then it kind of, I think Vimeo picked it up as like an original. They tried to do some original stuff where if you got like Vimeo Plus, you could watch. And then they probably added more shows at that point. And then more recently, HBO picked them up. And I think they're adding more shows coming up sometime this month.
There's like
September.
20 of them. And they're all like...
There's a bunch now. It's all the first ones. And then probably whatever Vimeo added. And then now there's going to be probably full episodes, I would imagine, that they're doing with HBO. But they're building on all the characters.
Yeah.
It's like the first few episodes, it was almost like that scene in fucking the movies where they're like, this is this person, and it's like if you edited them all together, it would have been like their fucking thing of all the different characters in the story, and then they kind of end up getting woven into other stories.
It started out as something and ended up as something different, and I liked all...
there's always a little twist.
I liked all the incarnations. I'm just talking about like even from episode 1 to the last one, it started out in one direction as like,
and then finished up like Backstreet Boys,
and then but yeah, it totally morphed into, because like he was more of a main character in the beginning,
kind of,
or he was always in the mix.
Yeah, because it was like, well, it was
about the other person,
hey,
but he was always there.
We're like in this life of these people we don't know.
He's
randomly.
always there dealing the weed.
Yeah, at some point they call him,
but then like it turned into at some point they call him. Like I'm almost positive the first one's like it was like he was almost there the whole time.
He was there for a lot of it. Yeah. But it
then
always
at the
starts.
end,
but it never starts with him though.
Oh,
it never starts with him.
No.
It always starts with like, here's this random new person,
and they need
it's like
weed.
Get to know about exactly. And then maybe you get to know about him through him hanging out with them, like that one chick that was the fucking stressed out assistant.
I like the one with his niece.
Yep, that one was what started out in like Palm Springs. Totally
I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
And then it's like, wow, that's a long drive from New York to get weed in a place where it's legal and there's dispensaries.
And
that
he
don't get shut
rides
down.
a bike. That's gonna take forever.
Yeah. But like, sure. His niece goes to New York and he hangs. Yeah, it was great. I really like the show. That's why I put it on, because I'd only seen like maybe the original 5 or 6. Hannibal Buress has a great episode. That may have been the one that I originally saw.
That one reminded me a lot of one of the last episodes of Legit, Jim Jeffries show, where he gets shot.
I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I watched. How many seasons did it go?
2.
I'm pretty sure I watched it.
He got shot.
He got shot.
And
Jim got shot?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it ended up being...
it's like a Breaking Bad ending.
Well, he did... In the show, he did his Second Amendment bit. And there was some dude in the audience who was like, fuck you, buddy. You go back to where you're from.
Like in a club?
Yeah. And then he approached him outside, and it ended up his buddy, the dude, the balding dude. I forget his name already on the show, but...
Yeah.
I
got you, though.
Ted.
Right.
And he shoots him by accident. Like, he's the one that pulled the gun, but forever Jim thought the other dude shot him. Like, and he wouldn't go back.
Right.
He had PTSD, wouldn't go out. Like, it was like that.
So how was it like the Hannibal Buress episode?
Because that was the dude came into the club and shot. He didn't shoot him, but it gave it.
About him
he didn't even want to go out.
Right.
Like,
so was it the whole episode of that's how that episode of Jim Jeffries started out?
I I think it was like a couple episode arc.
Interesting. I wonder how similar it is, because this came out way before Jim Jeffries had a show.
Well, I mean, Hannibal didn't get shot in this.
No, I know, but still, it's an interesting kind of to have a shooting happen in a comedy club and then to follow the PTSD.
But the shooting in the legit show was outside. Like he followed him outside.
But it's still about
different. It's about the
comedian dealing with a gunshot that happened at his workplace, and then. I mean, it's vaguely similar. But it's like whatever. But
it just reminded me
because that is. I love that episode.
Yeah, it was a good
episode. That had to have been the one that was on Reddit. Because usually comedy to get on like the top
he's probably
list.
The biggest name person that appeared on that show.
Yeah, he wasn't then though.
That was probably
4 years
older,
ago. Yeah. It had to have been like 4 years ago. And that one may be a newer one, but I don't know. Anyway, high maintenance.
So I'm wondering if they shoot that in Chicago then.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't know.
Sometimes they probably shoot in New York because they fucking
a lot of shit's inside.
They were by Broadway and shit a few times.
Yeah.
They wouldn't go for like a scene shoot.
But
two thumbs up.
Yeah, I love it. It's great. Great show. Highly recommend it. If you have HBO, it's all there. All the previous ones are on their streaming or their app.
They're
HBO Now,
from like
HBO
15 to 20 minutes a piece.
Yeah, not very long. I think some of the later ones seem like they got a little bit longer, like maybe 20 minutes.
They were almost making them episode length.
Yeah, which makes sense because especially if they go just full length, who knows how long they'll make the episodes.
I mean, if HBO
they could, they've built the world.
Yeah,
they've built the characters.
Although I think some of those characters where I was like, oh, it's that dude from I think some of them aren't meant to be the characters that they were before.
I don't know. They could easily
be.
It's like that guy that was like
the weird
all
cult
about
guy that came back later.
Yeah.
I don't think that was him
because he introduced him to. He has his go bag. That whole thing was about introducing him to his go bag. Of course, a motherfucker that's living that kind of lifestyle of like training, sleeping, 20 minutes, living that kind of. He's gonna have a fucking go bag, so that makes sense. It could easily. I would imagine because it seems there's actual characters that do.
It could just be a friend of his and fucking.
True,
his
they
hair
was right amount
different and
I don't know,
longer.
Because most of them seem to be related to all their previous
I agree.
episodes. So I don't see why that would be. That would be one was kind of weird. I don't know. Whatever. He was a weird fucking character.
I'm just
anyway.
saying shit.
It's kind of weird that he still came back.
I'm just saying shit that I noted. Like there was weird shit that I picked out.
I did too. But yeah.
But I really like the show. Like
it's a really cool show. Yeah, for sure. I'm sure a lot of them are still. You can still watch a lot of them online because it was a web series at first. But I'm curious to see what the new episodes. So we'll probably revisit it. After the first season or whatever.